Hey there.
Good
Happy Monday. Two of my favorite people. How are you guys doing today?
I am doing great. It's good to see you guys.
Good to see
thumbs
you.
up.
Yeah? Have a
I'm
good
so excited
weekend?
to see our guest today, especially after the last week, right?
I know, poor Mitch, you've had quite a week. How are you doing?
I say, of course, I then cough. I'm good. It's great to see you guys. Yeah, I've had a interesting last week to say the least, but I'm glad to be with you guys. Do you want to do like introductions first? Do you want me to talk about my week? You guys tell me what you want. I'm
Well,
here.
I was going to say, I guess we just go into conversation because we're so just friends chatting over coffee, but everybody else needs to know who you are. So today we have Mitch Robinson, our CMO, our Chief Marketing Officer at eXp World Holdings, and we couldn't be more delighted to have you with us, especially everything going on and after the week that you had last week and still recovering. So thank you for being here. Fill us in. Are you doing okay?
I'm doing great. I am in much better shape than a lot of people that are really, obviously struggling with things. About a week ago, I thought
Do I still have you, Elizabeth?
You have me. We lost Mitch.
I think Mitch froze.
He was saying he was having internet issues. That's a good face for him to freeze too. Well, we lost Mitch.
I know. He'll pop back on. He'll pop back on. I can't wait to hear about his week.
Yeah, poor Mitch. I mean, Mitch and his team are amazing with everything that they've done behind the scenes and everything that they're doing now to support all of our businesses and implement. And what's crazy is, I mean, we didn't even realize how sick he was last week. And it's just well-oiled machine, and they kept, moving forward in light of everything else. So I hope he pops back on because we need to get
We
to
need an
visit.
update from Mitch Robinson's world. What's been interesting talking to Mitch over the last couple weeks, as Mitch will share, are we getting him back? Mitch will share. He's in the Seattle market. Oh, there you are. You're back.
I'm back. I'm sorry, we're having some internet issues where I am right now, so I apologize, but looks like you just brought me back.
Brought you back.
We are just so excited to have you today. And Elizabeth was just mentioning again about your challenging week, but it's been a well-oiled machine, eXp Realty Marketing Department. So what has been going on in your
Yeah,
world?
yeah. Well, I was sick this past week. Just to get right to the chase, I had all the symptoms that you don't want to have, including fever and no taste and all of it. And then my doctor gowned up, met me in a parking lot, swabbed me, and that was, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, and I got the results back last night, and I'm okay, thankfully. I really feel for a lot of people that have not been as fortunate as I have, and I had some sort of really bad virus, but not the virus. So now I'm happy to be back and engaged with all of you, even if my internet isn't as good as I feel right now.
You're coming back. I was just sharing with Elizabeth too that it's been interesting being in communication with you over the last few weeks because you're experiencing things a few weeks ahead of us, right?
Yeah.
You want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I live in the Seattle area, so we've been dealing with things a little bit longer here. My family.
Froze again.
Froze again. He'll come back. I love his hat too.
Well, and I think with Seattle and Washington, there's so many. I mean, I know here in Austin, and we're having issues with internet, but most of our marketing team is all in Seattle as well.
I
So,
know.
I know they've been doing a lot, but we've been concerned about all of them. Oh, he's back. Hello again.
I'm back. I'm really apologize. I'm having some serious internet issues here, so we can try to struggle through it or whatever you guys want.
Let's give it a go and see.
Okay.
Let's give it a go. Let's see how we go.
So what I was saying before is that, I thankfully I'm in good shape now, and I'm really fortunate to work for a company, one that gave me some time off and understood I had the potential to be really sick, and two, when I was feeling up to it those few times, I could just open up my laptop and be engaged with all of our agents and staff. So very fortunate from that aspect.
The
Yeah,
ease
and
and accessibility.
well, and I think you popped in a lot more than you probably should have. You should have been resting, but again, we weren't really understanding how sick you were. But you're right. I mean, your team was all intact. You were all intact. You still had accessibility to everything you needed from your home, feeling like you were, but your avatar looked like you were doing just great.
My avatar looked really healthy, and I've lost enough weight in the last week that soon I will be at the same weight as my avatar, which will be outstanding.
Can you let
And I
me know
think
how you did that?
yeah, I don't think you want to do it the way I did. I think it speaks true to our company as well as many other companies that, it's really always about the team, and that if you have kind of the right goals and principles and people on the team, you should be able to have any person kind of go down for the count for a few days and keep things going.
Very good point. Very good point.
Will you bring us back? I know Elizabeth and I know you so well, but we want to really share all the awesomeness that Mitch Robinson brings to the table. Can you talk to us back some years ago and your experience? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm very fortunate with the career I've had. I've been part of a number of startups that have been successful. I originally started out in television way back in local market TV, moved on from there, and eventually ended up at this startup called Expedia, when people weren't sure if online travel was really going to be a thing. In fact, there were still a lot of people, believe it or not, I think using even modems back then. Like high-speed internet was like a dream. And I was part of the original team at Expedia right after it spun off from Microsoft. And then I was actually at Expedia during 9/11. And so that, for better or worse, brings back some memories to a degree of what we're going through right now and how you deal with kind of crisis type things and keeping your team motivated and making sure the business can still succeed. And then from Expedia, I eventually ended up at another startup called Zillow. And when I joined Zillow, it was right kind of in the depths of the recession, where I was like, why would I want to work in real estate? It seems like real estate agents are having a really tough time. That doesn't seem like a great business. And that business eventually prospered. And now I'm at another great startup, so to speak. I always will think of, I think, any place I work as a startup, because every day I like to have that kind of gritty mentality of there's new things to conquer and how do you move fast.
I think you bring a lot of great experience, and we've gotten, like Renee said, we've gotten to know you over the years, but everything that you've kind of taken and you've walked us through that and really planning, and all of those have been very different industries, right? And so you've been able to, with the marketing and our voice, you've been really been able to craft that and help us as agents find our own voice within the company that supports us.
Yeah, I think
your team do amazing with that.
Yeah, I think a big part of any of these businesses is thinking about kind of different personas in your industry. There are all sorts of different types of real estate agents, and I respect every type of agent that there is. There are all sorts of different types of consumers out there that think about real estate differently, and understanding them and kind of getting into what your audience is thinking versus just what you think. And you do that through a combination of hopefully having good data available to you, but also just having kind of an empathy for people and understanding that we're not all the same. And what we're going through right now, I actually think is a good example of that. What we're going through here in Seattle may not be what either one of you are going through right now or other parts of the country, as I talk to family and friends, but having an empathy for everybody's situation. And then when it comes to kind of like marketing of these different businesses, which is way different, understanding that it's just not a broad brush that works for everybody. You need to, as possible, kind of personalize what works for different types of individuals.
We're experiencing that now more than ever when we talk to our team members about really approaching each customer on an individual basis, which we've always focused on, but people will say, how are you navigating through this phase of the virus? And they'll say, well, we're navigating it by truly understanding what the goals of the customer are, because they're all individual. Some might say they want to hold off. Some are still proceeding forward, but it's depending on who they are. So that messaging is really important messaging for everyone to hear, Mitch.
Yeah, and especially just in terms of the virus, even in my personal life with I have friends and family all over the country. What I decided very early on was to respect everybody's opinion. Yeah. Right? If you are on Facebook or Twitter or watch the news, man, like everybody's right and everybody's wrong. And I just decided it was better just to respect everybody's opinion and how they react to things and how they feel about things, because sooner than later we'll be past all of this and we'll be back to, whatever normal is for us and moving forward.
That's so I think that's a really good reminder. Everybody handles things very, very differently. And it's interesting when you have a situation like this that most of us have never really experienced. I mean, we were licensed in 2008 when the crash and things like that, but that was very, very different, right? And it was 9/11, again, like you mentioned, yes, that affected us all, but we weren't right in New York, right? I mean, so it was going to affect us all a little differently in other parts of the country. This is affecting everybody across the board, across the world. And what I'm realizing is everybody does have very different opinions, and their opinions may be changing on a day-to-day basis because we all handle stress or anxiety or job loss or job potential or what's going to happen tomorrow very, very, very differently. And so I'm really praying that at the end of all this, we come out as a better, softer, kinder, more patient society. That's really my hope in the grand scheme of things. But until that happens, it's just stay safe, be okay with what your decision is and be okay with what somebody else's decision is, especially in real estate. Renee and I were talking about this. We're deemed essential. There's people out there still having to work, needing to work, clients still moving. Does that mean I'm out there showing properties? No, not necessarily, because that's a decision I've made. And if somebody else is doing that too, I'm not going to pass judgment. We all have to understand that we're reacting and having to approach this very, very differently.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best pieces of advice that I kind of have followed recently is I'm trying to watch or read local news a little more and national a little less. I want to know what's going on. Believe me, I love news. I could read like 10 newspapers a day if I had my way and probably have every cable channel on a different screen. But I've tapped that down. I need to know what's going on in my community to know how I can support local business. What does the data say in my community? And I'm getting bits and pieces of national because I still want to know, what's going on nationally, but I'm really focused on my local community now. I also just think for many people right now, just simply understanding how to work from home and how to make that happen. We're very fortunate, those of us connected to eXp Realty, in that we've been doing it now for a number of years and it's almost second nature. But I'm talking to friends every day that are like, whoa, this is hard, or how do you do it? And, that's a new thing for a lot of people.
It is a new thing for a lot of people. Jeff and I get a similar question because, we're both team leaders here in Orlando and we're very accustomed to working together, but we've had a few questions arise of, well, now there are nearly every spouse is working together, right? In some capacity, they're in the home as much as possible. Those who are really sheltering in place. So it's bringing a whole new element into the equation, which many hadn't thought of before.
Well, now, I'll give you some examples for those of us working from home for the first time. I'm not one of those, and I know you guys aren't, but how often do you engage with the rest of your family during the day? Like, yes, I'm working from home and I'm engaged and I'm in my basement, but right upstairs is my daughter home from college that wants help with the internet, my son home from high school that is bored, and my wife, who has always worked from home, who's also trying to get her things done. And, one of my tips is you need to get off your chair once in a while because your family is also probably struggling with this in some different ways. And you can't just simply say, well, I'm going down to my office and working, see you in 8 hours. That doesn't work anymore. I also will admit I've broken one of my other tips. I had these tips I actually posted for my friends that they really liked. And one was like, dress up every couple days. You guys look wonderful. Guys, maybe if you always have shaved, continue to shave. Now I broke that rule because I was sick for the last week, and now my goal is to look like Jimmy Kimmel in life. But like actually pull yourself together, and it'll just help you, I think, stay focused.
Yeah,
having that structure.
Structure, and those are good tips. And I've been saying that too. Watch local news. I stay away from the news as much as possible too, because it just depresses me. Showering makes a big difference. I mean, it's super easy to stay in your PJs all day, and sometimes, yeah, okay, I'll do that. But right. I'm really glad Renee and I are on this, video every day, because I'm like, okay, I've got to take a shower. At least I know I'm going to get 5 showers a week. But it's just one of those things. It makes you feel like a human again. It makes you feel better, and it's just like, okay, we can take this on. So I'm with you. I mean, my husband works from home too, but I don't usually have 4 kids at home, and it's a little bit of a challenge, to say the least. I'm not the best teacher, but anyway.
And for some families, it's like, oh, now our kids are home, my job's important. No, my job's more important, right? Like that's at least an easier one than I really feel for. Like I have staff that have really young kids and they're trying to homeschool them. Yeah. Imagine having a 4-year-old around all day, being a single mom and being super dedicated to your job and wanting to show that you have value, but you have another responsibility that kind of trumps that, and how do you manage that thing? And I think it's important for kind of leaders and managers to be especially empathetic to staff during this time and help them get through it, as well as, like you said, everybody's kind of got a different view or opinion, but you can't even guess what's going on the other side of the monitor from sometimes what you're watching.
Yeah.
Empathy has been a topic we've been discussing every single day, every day. Even when we look at the dynamic between opposing agents. So you have a listing agent on one side and you have a buyer's agent on the other side. And every day we've been sending messaging and reminding each and every person I understand we have our respective fiduciary responsibilities. I get it. Our customer is who we work for. Right. But we all parties have to have empathy for one another, because everyone is dealing with their own set of circumstances. And at least in my lifetime, and perhaps in 100 years, I don't know, this is the only time there's a global relate.
Yeah.
When has there been a time that you would be able to pick up the phone and every human being in the world has a relate to the same thing going on in their home? Yeah.
It's I was trying to explain to my kids who are a little older, so they're just like, oh, I'm invincible, or when is this going to be over? And I'm like, this is the first time in my life this has happened, and hopefully the last. You guys are considerably younger. Hopefully it's the first time and only time it's going to happen to you younger in your life. And you have a grandmother in Florida that's like 90, and it's the first time in her life it's happened.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to have kind of perspective right now. I've kind of tried to always kind of live my life and work to a degree. I always try to look in like, what does 3 months look like ahead? What does 6 months look like ahead? And I'm doing that kind of more than ever, because I'm focused on what needs to get done today, but I'm also always thinking about the next 3 to 6 months on not only how to drive our business forward and how to help our agents, but also just personally for me and my family. What does that look like as well?
So you're talking about focus in the future. I have to say, with the eXp Realty Marketing Department and Marketing Center, it has been such a heavy weight lifted. I'm sure, Elizabeth, you feel the same way, that there's just built-in tools for us that we don't have to think about that. Can we talk a little bit about the importance of what agents can be focused on right now in their business?
Yeah. I've been so fortunate over the years to work with so many fantastic agents, and everything I'm going to share probably is just what I've learned from people like the two of you and others. Glenn Sanford, our founder, made a great point last week where he's like, all of you wait till like the last month to get your CE classes in. Like that's an easy one, but let's focus on that just for a second. Sometimes in December, it's a little quieter for some agents. What if this December is the total opposite? What if this December is normally like March or April is? So it makes sense to get some of that stuff done now so you can be super productive in a month where normally maybe you're able to take your foot off the gas just a little bit. From an eXp perspective, you know, we have the eXp Marketing Center where we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of now pieces of collateral and videos. And I was just saying to someone earlier, kind of reminds me of Netflix. You ever like Netflix? Sometimes you just look at what are the top things. You're like, oh, I'll give that a try. Tiger King, heard about that. I'll watch that.
Oh no.
But it's very unlikely you go deeper into Netflix and see what's there. And if you do, you sometimes find a hidden gem. And that's what I would say to our agents about the eXp Marketing Center is we've been adding, you know, 1 to 2 to 3 pieces every week for more than a year or 2 years or 3 years now. What's in there that could help your business? Take the time today to go through there and find things that you may want to use. And some of those things you could use today. There's videos, there's social elements. There are, you know, collateral pieces. Take the time while you have it to kind of get prepped and open up your mind to what else is out there and waiting for you.
They could timeline it out, right? I mean, I remember when eXp Marketing Center didn't even need a search bar and was almost like an accordion menu that you would just open it up and go dee, 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 because it was obviously not as ample as it is today. And now you go in there and good point. You need some time. There are so many assets there for agents to just plug and play, get it done.
Yeah. And I would say the same thing about, you know, we launched this site a couple months ago called eXp Life, life.exprealty.com. And I'm really proud of our team because in spite of all the kind of personal trials many of our team has had based on where they live, we're adding new content there almost every day. In fact, here, I don't know if you guys can see, I was just making myself a note here. Can you see that? Like those are kind of 3 pieces that just went up that one is about how Real Trends, which is a national industry real estate report, how productive our agents are and how our company ranked right at the top. Our press release and a story about our most recent earnings for year end and just came out, and a big new independent brokerage that just joined us from Arizona. And we're constantly putting that information out there. And I think that's really good, not only for agents with eXp Realty, but just for others in the industry that want to read about what's going on, or even our clients or potential clients or past clients or future clients, just to get a little bit better understanding of what's going on out there. I know some of you have more time than you used to. So now's the time to use that time. I'm trying to do the same thing, just to take a breath and get a little smarter about some things at the same time while trying to move the business forward right now.
There's a lot of really good articles. And I got to say, so one of my favorite articles is with this one over here, Miss Elizabeth Riley.
Depends which way you're pointing. She's
there
for me. Could be
and I was like, who's she pointing to?
That one. The one and only 5-time recipient of the Icon Award. That's a great piece on you, Miss Elizabeth.
You know what? That was a great piece. And I was very honored and humbled by that, because it's, you know, our marketing team does a great job about showcasing our agents and accomplishments, even when we're not aware that they're doing it, right? All of a sudden you're like, oh, and here's it. I mean, it's pretty awesome. And our whole marketing team's super focused on social media and LinkedIn and getting things out with our with all of our agents. And yeah, we're doing a good job and we're serving our clients well, but I think we'd all be lying if we said it doesn't feel good to have that recognition. Right. And so instead of us having to always toot our own horn, right? I'm horrible about that. I don't talk about myself with my clients and people all that much, but it's nice to have somebody step in and do it sometimes for you, especially unexpected.
And we have so many agents, and this is true of any company. There's so many agents doing so many wonderful things, and it goes beyond, how many buyers or sellers you have. Some of the things that Elizabeth, I think was in your piece, and Renee, you and your husband Jeff have been focused for your work with the Orlando Magic. Like, there's so many things that you guys, all agents, try to do to stay involved in their community. This is one of the things that drew me to real estate in the first place. Is it's really a local business. I have a title, and it's nothing more than a title, where I kind of have to think about everybody. But the thing that I've always kind of personally enjoyed is people that are working in their local communities. A lot of communities have efforts such as Go Local, which I was a charter member of here in my community, and supporting local people that are every day thinking about how to help others. And one way you help others is you get people in the house of their dreams. And now more than ever, I'm very appreciative to my real estate agent. I was just stuck in my bedroom for the last 7 days. So I can tell you, I made a good choice. It's a really nice bedroom, and I'm very appreciative for the house I have.
And let's talk a little bit about the positioning of an agent. So if we look at the coronavirus, and obviously there's going to be a landscape adjustment, possibly a little bit of a shift on the way we do business. How do you think the real estate agent can be poised to navigate that? And what does it look like on the other side once this subsides?
Well, so many people have different opinions, and I said respect all opinions, Renee. So this is just one opinion. How can I best explain this? Last week when I was sick, before I had to go get swabbed, I did a teledoc thing.
Yeah.
First time ever. And I'm a huge technology user. I have 4 screens in front of me right now. I've got my phone here, my iPad behind me, but I had never done teledoc. And I did it, and I'm thankful I did, because I really couldn't go anywhere at the moment. But when it's all over, I will go back to my doctor, because there's nothing more important to me than my health. And I have a great trust and faith in my doctor, and I like him to be able to see me and look him in the eye sometime. I feel the same way about real estate, that before, during, and after what we're going through right now, the selling or purchase of a home is one of the most important and meaningful life events you're ever going to have. And that is not probably going to change in terms of how important a real estate agent is. Now, I'm a huge believer in technology for pieces of that, right? Some more virtual tours right now make a ton of sense to protect the consumer as well as our agents, right? Can more things be done online in terms of documents, and states are getting better about even notary being available online. But that all said, the agent is the key part of all of that. And I don't really see that changing regardless of any technology that is out there. We need you guys to do what you do. So when we are stuck in our home for a day, a week, or a month, we're in the place that we want to be, and we have that love for our home, just like we have that love for our partner, our spouse, our kids, and our dog.
It's just a platform. The technology is a platform to allow us to work smarter and be more effective and efficient for our clients.
Yeah,
tools
totally.
in the tool chest, right? It's to have the tools.
I mean, have you guys noticed, even in the past week, when I did try to look at something online, I was kind of laughing so many times with celebrities that were like, "Oh, I don't know how to use Zoom," or I just saw one with Steve Carell from The Office, where his wife Nancy had to come into the frame and like press a button for him. So technology, first of all, is always going to be a challenge for some people, and it can only get you so far. And we're always going to need that person to help us make important life decisions, whether it's a home or your doctor or so many other things, where the blend of technology and people, I think, is what's key.
Perfect. Couldn't have said it any better. I think we have 2 questions, right, Elizabeth? 2 of our favorite questions.
Okay.
You want to go?
Sure. Okay, so one of the hashtags, we're all big with marketing and the hashtags. Our hashtag is eXp Realty Proud.
By the way, can I just say, I think along with a couple other people, I created that hashtag. So
Did you?
I feel like this may not be a fair question. So
well, we didn't know that, so I think it's a very fair question. Absolutely. Of course,
We're asking the right person.
Okay, what does that mean to you?
What does it mean to me? Well, let me tell you.
What makes you real eXp proud?
I would say a lot of it kind of ties to kind of an engagement and family feeling, and everybody kind of pulling the oars the same way. And that as a company, as well as our agents, we can be diverse. Some of us are loud, some of us are quiet, some of us sell a lot of homes, some of us don't sell any homes if you're not an agent. But at the same time, we all have that kind of same amount of being proud for the company and pride in what we do and who we're associated with.
I love that so much.
Yeah, that was very well said. Of course, coming from the man who created the hashtag. So
I think I was one of those people.
I don't think, how did we not know that about
I don't know.
Well, I just remember I probably have a document somewhere that had all the potential. This was right after I joined, and I was like, oh, like I probably have a list of like 30 different hashtags we explored. Someday I'll pull that out and I'll send it.
We need a screenshot of that, please. That would be good. That comes out of the vault, right? And we need to see that. All right, our last question is, in 3 words or less, Mitch Robinson, what does eXp Realty mean to you?
Mitch Robinson. Just kidding. That's 2 words. I would say I'm just going to give you 2 words. How about that? Agility and engagement. Agility is one of our core values at the company, and it's probably right at the top of my list in terms of being open to kind of moving fast and making changes and decisions when the business calls for it or when you get the feedback that calls for it. And then engagement is just like my favorite one. It's not only what we're doing right now, it's what we offer our agents in Workplace by Facebook. It's what we have with our virtual world, where I can be engaged with my staff all day, even if I'm sick or at home or feeling great. It's as much as we like Zoom, like we're doing right now, but being able to be always on and always engaged with your staff, I think is a huge advantage we have, and something that my team was already used to. So we haven't really missed much of a beat with what we're going through. So agility and engagement, if you can do both of those things, I think you're in good shape.
I love that. And agility has been at the top of our list. I'm sure all of our list, because now more than ever, we are being agile.
Yeah. No kidding. Like that's a word that I maybe need to post the core values on the refrigerator for, my family, because I don't think I've talked about them quite enough yet.
I was actually just commenting on the agility that we should all take note of for our children, all children. Because they are being agile to navigate this and their children.
Yeah, no kidding. And I want to call out our staff at eXp that, they're being agile every day. I have one employee with 3 kids at home. She's trying to homeschool. A single mom with a 4-year-old that's trying to make it work. I have some employees that were in small apartments in Seattle and have moved in with their parents, so they have more space. One of our employees is like, I'm moving, but first I'm upgrading my parents' internet, and then I'm moving home so I have more room. So agility is a key part of I think what we're all trying to do right now.
Well, we know you have not been feeling well and you've been behind, and so for you to get on here with us, even for a short amount of time, means the world. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you guys. It's just so great to see people again. When I was in isolation because we didn't know if I had the virus or not, and my family would bring my meals, put them on a chair outside my door, knock, and then run away. And so I really, until last night, I haven't really seen anybody. So this is so exciting to see you guys. And I just want to say I feel for every family that's dealing with this, whether it's from a medical perspective, an economic perspective. Like I said, I like to look ahead, 3-6 months, and I'm super excited about what 3 months look like ahead. 6 months, I look forward to engaging with you guys whenever we have our next real life event, and look forward to better days ahead, because I know they're coming.
They're coming. We appreciate you so very much. Keep taking care of yourself. Take it easy on re-entry, okay?
I will. I feel a late afternoon nap I miss, when you live on your bed for a week, you're like, oh, I miss that bed. And,
right?
and I need to go find it around 4 or 5 o'clock.
No judgment. Go find it.
Yeah,
all right, friends,
you.
we will look forward to seeing you soon. And, reach out anytime we can help you with anything.
Oh, you too. And everybody stay safe out there.
All right.
Thank you, Mitch. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, guys. Take care.